Hi guys, I'm Nemanja Sekulic and today I will show you how to blend three different images into this interesting photo manipulation. So let's start. For this project we will need these three images. This road with the snow around, which we will transform it into a river. This woman in water and those mountains in the back with the clouds. Alright, let's first start with the road, and first what I want to do is to make selection out of the road and then make mask out of it. For that we can use a lot of different ways. For example, we can use quick selection tool, or we can use a color range selection, or we can use alpha channels to make a mask. For this project we will use alpha channels and make mask out of it. Okay. Let's go here just for the channel tab and find the contrast here channel for this. I think the red is the best for this purpose, and just duplicate the channel. Okay, and now with Control or Command L, just bring this level dialog box and just clip the blacks and the midtones and bring back the whites. Something, let me see, maybe something like so. Okay, now we need to get rid of these white points here and these black points here. Let's use first the lasso tool, L on the keyboard, and just make a rough selection around the road here. Okay, and use Control or Command backspace to fill with black. Black, it's our foreground color, background color, and use the same. Yeah, use the same for these white parts here. Okay, like so. But this time we want to fill with the white, it's foreground color, and use Alt or Option key with the backspace. All right, and let's select these parts here too. Again, fill with white. Alright, now let's use brush. Let's simply use something around 50% hardness, and I don't know, some little bit bigger brush, of course with black color, and just paint this part here with, of course, 100% opacity. Alright, and just paint here those white dots. Okay. Let's just quickly check. This is the shadow from the sun here on the snow, and we need to paint that white because we need that part. All right, let's just quickly paint this. Okay, let's zoom it and refine this too. Like so. You don't need to be so precise, but as much time you take here with the mask, less time will you take later refining that mask. You will see. Okay, we need all these things to be white, and we're almost done. Just a few little cleanup points. Okay. Let me see. For this I'm using Wacom tablet, and it's much easier for me to paint with the pen than paint with the mouse. But it's your preference. I'm just used to paint with the pen like I usually do on paper. Okay, let's just clean this. Yeah, I know it's a boring process, but we need to do it. Okay, let me check a few more things. Okay, and now let's get rid of these parts on the road. Like so. Nice, and bring back this. And let me see here. I think we will not need this part of the road because it will be covered by the mountains, but I just clean up these things. Okay, now I think we are good. Now let's make selection out of this mask. For that, just use Control or Command key and click on this alpha channel and go back to the layers. And first what I want to do, I want to make a group and apply the mask on the group. Let's name the group woman, like so, and put this woman into the group and invert the mask. Control Command I to invert the mask. Now we can freely move this layer with the woman and it will stay masked with the road here. Nice. Okay, let's leave it for now like that and go back to the background. Let's name this background. Okay, and just clean up these things because we don't need it. I will use a stamp tool with regular brush, maybe a little bit softer, like 28% for example, and just sample it and clean it up like so. Okay, and here. All right, we are almost done. I think that's it. Yeah, that's it. Now the next step will be to duplicate twice this layer with the woman. Just Command or Control J twice, and let's move the lowest one to the right. Let me see, just a second. Okay, we need to hide this. And Control Command T and just make it smaller because she is too big for the scene. Let's just make it smaller, maybe like so. Let it be like so. And use the next two layers just to fill the gaps. Here, where we need to put the water. All right, let's just make the opacity lower. And let me see, we need the water here. Right, let's bring back opacity to 100%, make a mask here and just big and soft brush, just paint with the black, just paint her out. Okay, just paint this part out like so. Nice. Let me just double check the mask with the Alt or Option key and click on the mask. We get this only mask view. Okay, that's not so bad at all. And let's use the other one to fill this upper part here. Again, we can make a black mask with Alt or Option and just click on mask here, and with the white brush just paint here, and with the black just refine the details. All right, let me see now the mask here. It looks like this is some ice in the water. The mask is pretty good, and here I like it. All right, the next step will be to add those mountains with the sky as a background. For that, let's bring the layer in, just lower the opacity a little bit to see it through, and just move the mountains somewhere here. I think it's okay. Okay, back to 100%, and with the marquee tool just select the parts that I know that I don't need it, like so, and make mask. Invert the mask, and with the black and soft brush just paint out those parts that we don't need it. Okay, let's make a brush, maybe 30% opacity. Just press number 3 on the keyboard, and that's it. Let's paint here like it's a mist or a snow on that mountain. Alright, we don't need this part too. I like to use lower opacity brush to refine a little bit better this mask. It's easier for me. You can use your own method for that. There's a lot of different ways to do, and just paint like so. Let's blend in this, maybe 10% opacity, and blend in this part too. And here, let's just fade this part here, like so. Let me see. Okay, I like this. The next step will be to correct the colors of the water and on the mountains at the back. Let's first use curves, okay, and we will need hue and saturation. And let's clip it to this group where the woman is. Okay, with the curves I just want a little bit to fade the blacks, just a little bit like so. And with the hue and saturation, just go to the cyan and desaturate and make it a little bit bluish. Something like so. You can play with that. Maybe a little bit lighter. Okay. And for the mountains here, just again, hue and saturation adjustment layer, clip it, go to the blue color, and let's just desaturate that blue. Maybe make it a little bit cyan, something like so. Alright, not bad at all. Alright, let's now just go here to the woman and maybe move it a little bit to the right, something like so. I think it's a little bit better. Let's nudge it a little bit. Okay. And let me see. The composition is pretty nice. I just want to make this woman a little bit brighter. Let's use a curve for that. Like so, invert the mask and go here. And with the really soft and maybe 5% opacity white brush, just paint here on this curves mask, like so. Let me see. Let's paint the water too, just this part to be a little bit brighter. Let me see before and after. Yeah, before and after. It's really nice. All right, let's play a little bit with this hue and saturation and cyans again. Let me see if we desaturate. No, make a little bit more bluish, something like so. Okay, the next step will be to match the depth of field on all three layers, on the woman in the water, snow from left and right side of the water, and the mountains at the back. First, let's analyze the image here. As you can see, the water has the shallowest depth of field, and we need to make the snow and the mountains a little bit blurrier to match this amount of blur here. I think the easiest way to do that is to convert these layers to smart objects. Okay, why I'm doing that, I will explain you in a second. Let's just rename it mountains, and let's name this snow. Okay, when we apply here some filter, for example Gaussian blur, and maybe let's see, yeah, 4.5 pixels, it's okay. We have the smart filter here with its own layer mask, and we can paint on that layer mask if we want to reduce some blur. Alright, let's do the same for the snow. Filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and yeah, 4.5 pixels. It's not bad actually. It's maybe more now, 4.5. It's okay, 4.5. Let's use the same amount. Nice. And as you can see, just click here on the mask, use soft brush and just paint with the black on the parts that you don't want to be so blurry. Let's use maybe 40% opacity and just paint here like so. We don't need this to be so blurry. All right. And we need to correct these edges on the mask here. And it's really easy, just go here on mask, double click it and just feather it a little bit, like so. That's really nice. And now when we are done that, let's merge all layers together and apply global contrast and some color correction at the top of that. So let's do it. For the PC user, the shortcut is Shift-Control-Alt-E. For the Mac users, it's Shift-Command-Option-E. I want to use for this situation here filters and camera raw filter. Okay, and just go here to the dehaze option and let's decrease it just a little bit, like maybe -15, and bring the contrast up a little bit, like so. And I want to go here to split toning and make shadows to have some bluish tint. Let me see. Yeah, something like so maybe. Let me see before and after. Oops, I don't need that. Before and after. Before and after. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice. Let's go here and maybe bring some shadows up. And that's it for now. Let's say okay. Make some layer mask. Let's reduce the opacity maybe to 80% or so. And just paint with the black here on the woman and this part here. Let's make this like so, and maybe with 20% opacity paint this part of the water. Okay, let's zoom it a little bit to see. Nice, I really like it. We can play a little bit with this. We can maybe add a new layer and use a brush with white brush with here the slow mode and maybe 20% opacity, and just add some pixels here to make like it's the fog over there. You will see how. Just add some points here. It's look like snow, but actually it's not. Maybe here on the water somewhere, and maybe here, I don't know. Let's see, and go to filter, blur and Gaussian blur, and just blur this layer until we are satisfied, something like so. And as you can see, it looks like some fog over there. Maybe this is too much, and we can just make a mask and delete this if we don't want this. And maybe it's here, it's too much, and let's decrease the global opacity of that layer. And that's basically it. Let's merge all layers together again. Shift-Control-Alt-E or Shift-Command-Option-E on a Mac, and go to Filters, Other, and High Pass. And let's zoom it. Maybe the radius around 1.5 pixels. It's okay for this image. And let's just go to the linear light mode, just to make the image a little bit sharper. As you can see, wow, what sound. As you can see here, she's a lot sharper. Okay, we are basically done. We just have small correction to do, and that's to adjust some pixel repetition in the water. So let's do it. As you can see here, there are two same water ripple, and I don't like that. Let's first name this sharpen. Let's name this fog, and this is color correction. And on the top of this sharpen layer, let's just add some retouching layer and use the stamp tool with soft brush and just sample some parts here, maybe like so, and paint here like so, and that's it. It's much better than before. Okay guys, we are finally finished with this image and with this tutorial. I hope that you like it and that you learn some new stuff out of it. If you have any questions at all, please be free to ask them in the comment below. I will be happy to answer them. Like it, share it, subscribe, do whatever you want. You have exercise files, practice, and see you next week in the next tutorial. Bye bye.